So I need to create a page which contains this information. The first that shows the welcome to movie world. So this is my header. My system going very slow. Okay, this is my header and there's some content I want to write for it. Uh, like, but the font size is small for that and it should not in the bold. And so like that, some content should be there here in just below of this, and it should be can be a greater, no issue. Now I want to display another section which will show uh, like this top uh, top four movies. It should be show. Okay, so here uh, there should be a image, the movie image, and here the movie name, like this should be in a bold, and some little detail about the movie, just here, like the actors, the information about the actors, and like that. So you can put your actors information or the movie information, little information about below this. Like this, we need to copy this and paste. And one more. Okay. Now in the bottom, I want to provide a links. Okay. So the links are like this. comedy, the categories of the movies, the comedy movies. So this is a link, and here another link would be the horror, and another would be the action. Suppose I have three links, and on these link, click on these links. I want some details about the comedy. What are the comedy movies? What are the horror movies? And what are the action movies? Such information I want to show in it. Okay, so suppose in the comedy movies I am going to click, then the detail about the what is the comedy movie should be there. So it should be in a blank. So comedy movie detail should be here in the bottom. Like that, if you are going to click on the horror movie, then horror movie detail should be displayed, and action movie will display. So this type of information we are going to create on our React application. So as you look, there are the lot of the sections here. The first section is this one. Sorry, the first section you can see this one. This is our header, and one second. Okay, so the another section you can see here the list of movies. Here we have uh, one section is this, and this section contains the four sections. But you can see that these are the repeatable. The name of the movies will different, the action will be different, image will be different, but the content, way of content to display on it is the same. So this is that's why I'm cutting this one is a single section. Now here we have this section. Okay, so this section contains the links. So in this section you can see that these are another section, and these contents which is showing here is another section, but it is count in the same section. So now how many components we should be create for that? The main component is that this is our main component. In this main component we need to create a sub components, that is a one, and another is a two. Okay, and the third one is this one. So we need to create a component for that. Now we are going to implement this React application. The requirement is clear for everyone, right?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, so we are going to create the same in our React application. So we are have created a movie. In this movie, I'm going to create a main content, main component for that. That is a movie container.js. Suppose this one is my main component const Now I need to display this content on the form. So from here we can do that. There are two ways. Right now we are using the employee JS also. Okay, but we don't want to use our component inside of this. So we need to we are going to directly add this component on the my app component. So this is my app component, which is already added in the my uh, index.html. Okay, so here, like that employee, I am going to add my. You can remove all of the code. There is no issue. But right now I am just putting it with that. So here, movie container is my uh, the component name, and for this I need to add the reference for that. So import movie container from. So this is the outside of the this section because it is in the folder. So I want to set the dash dash. Sorry. So I want to put that this, and after that we need to provide the folder name. So that is the movie. This is the folder, and the component name is the movie container.js. Okay. So now I can see this container contains the movie, so it should be displayed here just above your welcome of employee management. Today my machine is responding very slow. I don't understand why. Okay, let's for that and go to the continue.code. So now this is the main component, main movie component. Now as we see this, we need to create a one component for the header. So we are going to create one more component, movie header.js const. So this is, oh, one second, one more thing you have missed here, that is export default movie container. Okay, and like that you need to pass export default movie header. Okay, now we have created one component here. The third component is the this one. So that is a cart. So I'm going to create a movie cart.js. Take another component. So we have created this component also. Now we are going to create a movie detail, movie type component. So here Node.js. So we have created all of the component right now. So here you can see how it is going to show. Here this is showing the movie. So it means the which the main component, the movie container is showing here. Now here we need to add the header. So header should be in a div. And what is the movie header? So you can see the reference is automatically added here. So this is my header. And now another section is this one, cart. So now this is a div movie cart. I'm going to add. So there is two references added in it, and the third one is movie type. So all of the component has added in it. If you see on the browser, all of the components will show it. So the thing is that now we have created the things, the container, but now we need to do with the data. So first of all, we go to the header. So in this header, we need to write a header first. The header name is here. Welcome to Movie World. Okay. So now I'm creating another div and set welcome to movie world. This is my the top heading item, and this is a child. Now div and write the child. Okay, like there's some contents I'm added here. It is showing on the page welcome to movie, and but this is a simple text, but I need to add some CSS for that. I'm going to create a single CSS right now. You can create for multiple CSS for multiple of the containers or the contents if you want. But right now I'm going to create a single CSS. That is movie.css. And here I need to provide the header style, font size. I'm giving around 18 pixels. and font width solid bold. Okay, now I need to use this CSS in my movie container. Before that, I need to import the CSS. That is a movie.css. And I am adding importing here. Now provide the class. So you can see the class has implemented on it. Now we need to provide some class for it. So you can create another class. Like that. Suppose I'm going to write implement this. So you can see that there is the static content here directly. But if you want to dynamic from somewhere, then you need to use the movie container, the component, and from here you need to pass the value as a parameter. So suppose don't want to use these things in the here directly, but I want to set as a parameter. So here I need to put these things here, and now I'm going to create a variables for that. There's a post movie header text, and like that you can pass the as a parameter here. Header text equals to movie header text, and you can use this header text directly here. So this is only up to you how you are going to use the contents and content values. So now in this case the header text will become from the props. So like that one component have ready for here. Now we are going to the movie cart. Here movie cart, you can see that we have the sections. There are the multiple sections, but we can create a single section here, and we have the two ways to implement these things. So we are going to create a cart. The first, it is the outer div contains this one, and this div will contains the border of that. Now in the another div, I will take a picture. So image and src, you can provide the src here, and this is the image container. Okay, now we have another div which is containing the movie name. Okay, so movie name, and another div is containing the movie detail, yeah, movie summary. Okay, so it is containing this movie summary. So if you can see that here the image is here, movie name is here, and summary is here. Now we need to make a the designing for that. So first of all, we need to set the border of that. So here, and one more thing, I'm showing to you one more thing. If you are a beginner for the UI part and you know very less, the another thing you can choose the spec and you can do your some R&D directly here, and you can see that which type of the code you are applying, what is the output for that. After that, you can, if it is okay with you, then you can use the same CSS in your code. So how you can do that is a very simple. Go in that and select that particular HTML content where you want to apply the your CSS. Now you can see that there are the uh, this is my div and this is my main div, and in this main div we have the image, and this is the movies. So now that this is my div, from here I want to apply something. Suppose I want to apply the border. Okay, so if you directly apply the border, suppose like a 1 pix or 10 pix, then it will not show, because in the CSS there is the border dot right, left, bottom. These are the things are available. So suppose you are going to the bottom and the 1 pix and the border style you to set here, that is a bold or solid. Okay, so you can see that, or you can apply the border, but you need to provide the border style. So here you can see that the border is available for our component, but it is taking all of the space for that. So you need to set the width for it. So here you can set the width, and it is the, suppose you can provide in the percentage also, and you can provide in the pixels. So suppose you are providing the pixels, so it is 100 pixel and it will start from the left. Okay, to make them in a center or anything, then you need to set the again the positions and the uh, display items in the CSS properties. So here I'm using the width of this is a 200 no 300 pixels. Okay, and the I'm going to set the height of that, because the so here are the two or three types of the heights properties available. That is a height. The if you are providing the height of the particular item, suppose you are providing the 200 pixel, so it don't mean that it will containing the 200 pixels items only. It contains the height of that is a 200 pixel, but whenever your data is going to increase, then height of that content will also increase. Okay, and the another is a minimum height. Okay, so minimum height is saying that your container height, minimum height should be this, but whenever the content is going to increase, then it will be also, height will be also increase. Like that is we have the maximum height. So maximum height is saying that if the content is increased but height of the container will not increase, it will be fixed. Okay, so there are the three types of the properties here in our CSS. So I'm going to set the height. Height is 300 pix. Oh, sorry, 200 pix. So it is going to increase this. Okay, now want to set the some height and width up for my image. So now here you can go and set that uh, width of that, and suppose it is 100 pixels. Okay, so it is 100 by 100 of image. You can increase or decrease that, and like that, if you have you have another thing is a movie name. You can set the movie name style also here, like that is a uh, font size. We can set 14 pixels, 16 pixels. Okay, and the font style, font width is a bold. Okay, now go to the summary. You can set the summary style also, but this is not a permanent. When you are going to refresh your page, it will be lost. So make sure you should note down all of the changes what you have written here and apply the same changes in your code. So now here we are the movie summary. Now font size, I'm putting it as a 14 pixels or 13 pixels. Okay, and font style italic. Okay, like that we have set the things. Now I need to apply in my code the same thing what I have written here. So look at here. First one is my top div. Okay, in top div, there is a this style. So you can just copy here and go to the this, and you can provide a name of that cart style and paste them. It is very simple. No issue. Now go to this image, copy this one, create a class like this. Go to this one, cart header, and this is a cart summary. Okay, now I need to apply this one, these things in our code. So this is the cart style. Go to the cart, and this is a class name equals to this. Before that, I need to import the CSS inside. Import. Okay, and
Movie spelling, movie. You,
movie spelling.
uh,
I. Thank you. Image style. Cart header. And cart summary. So here, if you can refresh this one, then you can see this the same. Now, the thing is that we need to display the fourth component for container here. So, like that, the previous lecture we have learned about the how we can display the them the three or more times. So here is our container, and suppose I have a set of object array object which contains the movie information. Okay, so here is the const and movie list. Okay, and movie ID, it is a unique ID. Anyone? Design one. Movie name, movie image, something image. Okay, and movie summary. Like that, here is the summary, and here you can make a set of data M2, M3, M4. Any other movie name? Suggest. Ganesh, are you movie lover? Hello.
No, sir. I don't watch movies often.
What movie?
I don't watch movies, I guess.
Oh,
Ah,
Tarak, you? Umesh, Tarak.
I used to.
Okay.
Chole sir.
Okay. So this is our movie list data. Now I want to use this movie list in my movie cart. So again, there is two ways. First way, I can pass the parameters here, like a movie name, okay, and movie name, and like this, the zeroth item dot is a movie name, and like there's a movie summary, and summary equals to this zero dot movie summary. Like that, suppose I'm going to pass the two things, and here the movie card I'm going to use the props, and here in my movie name I'm using the props dot mname, and like in a movie summary props dot So now
Again,
the summary.
prop spelling is final div. Uh, PORF. Uh,
Here, props. Thank you. So in this component, the parameters are passing from the header. Oh, sorry, from the container. That is the this is the first element of that content. So this is coming from there. Now, like that, we can send the another items in it. So for that dynamic, make a dynamic that then we have a map method. In map method, we have the item. Each of the item will go to traverse here, and here we are going to return this. Now in this case, we don't use this array method. Instead of this, I'm going to use the item. And here, like that, I'm going to use the item. So now, if you are going to see that, Acha, hello. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes, can you please call me after 12 o'clock? I am taking session. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So like that, we are going to pass here. Now you can see all of the items are showing in the here, but not in a single row. It is going to multiple rows. So why? So what is the solution to make of them? Then you can see here that so in the cart, this is a cart style and it is my header div. It's my header div which is coming from here. Okay, and it is containing this one. But this is my header div. Suppose I'm applying the display is a flex here. This is nothing to it because this is a child element. Suppose I am using the display inline or inline block, whatever you are using, but this is only for this container. So there is nothing to do on it. We need to go to parent. In parent, I need to pass the display. The you can use the flex. So you can see that all of the items are showing in the single row. So here you are going to in the movie cart. Suppose you are going to apply the CSS on it. This is not working because it is the part of only these elements. But we need to apply the CSS on the top of that. So here is the top. This is a top here in a container. Container the top is this one because this div is containing all of the items which are coming in from this movie cart one by one. That is things. Wherever the style is available here. Now I need to apply the style here. So there are two ways. If we can apply the inline style also. So style display and that is a flex. Save that and go to here. If you can see it, there is displaying correctly. Now I need to go in the movie type. Here is a movie type. Okay, go to the movie type container. I am closing this header and go to the movie type. In movie type, what I need to do here, if we can see our mockup, then there is a link. 1, 2, 3, 3 links I need to create, and the content of that. Okay, so I'm going to create a 3 links here. Is a div. I'm not using, okay, I'm using that href hash and going to close that. And the name of this is comedy. Now going to another one, anchor. So these 3 categories are available, for example. So now let's see how it is going. It is showing like that. You can apply the CSS for designing purpose. Here, I want, whenever I'm going to click on it, then content should be. So what content should display here is my div. Movie type contents. So movie type content should be displayed just below on it. Okay. So how it will work? So suppose I have something here, a set of data. Okay, is a const type content. So first content containing the comedy content need to display. If the comedy content is displaying is clicking, then this content should show. Is clicking should show. Is clicking should this show. So here horror content need to display, and like that is the action content need to display. Yeah. Now how will it will display? It is suppose here this is a movie type contents, and I'm using this one is a const content text, and I'm using this one content text instead of this one. So for this is a dynamic, but for this is a static. Okay, how we can change them? Here you can see on click. This is my method. I'm going to create a new method on it. Get content. This is my method, for example, and here I'm going to const And here I'm going to set this content text here. But what I'm going to set here, you can see that there is on the first item is it, second item is a horror, and third item is a action. So there are a lot of the ways we can do that, but I am going to very simplest way right now. So here I need to pass the parameter. For example, I want to pass the parameter as 0. Sorry. So I need to pass the parameter as 0 here. Okay. For 0 for the comedy and 1 for the horror. So it will be mapped with my array element. This is 1 and this is 2. And now I'm going to get the movie content type as what I am getting from here. Array index, and I am passing the array index in it, and it will provide me the value in the content text. I'm going to write a console.log here and display the content text. One console I'm going to here. So the question is that will it work? Will these functionalities work? Ideally, it should work. Ideally, it should work. But let's see it is work or not. So go to the page, and before that I'm open. I'm going to refresh it. What are these errors? These errors are coming because we are not using the uh, key element, the key property, where we are using the uh, loop, that is a map. So here we need to provide the key. This is just a warning, nothing else. Okay, so item dot movie ID, I'm providing it. So the thing is that you can see the movie type content and movie type contents. Two is here. So here you can see the movie type. It is showing the movie type content. That is a movie type content. Now suppose I'm going to click on it. You can see that we are getting the error here because we are using the const. So read the error message first. So how you are going to evaluate that error, which type of error you are getting here? Assignment of the constant variable. So it is clearly said that you are going to assign a value in a constant variable. So it is much clear that you cannot use a constant variable if you are going to change the values in it. So instead of that, you can use the let. Okay. Now again, I'm going to refresh, and I'm going to click on it. You can see that comedy content need to display, but here movie type content is also showing. Now I'm going to click on the horror. The values change, the horror content need to display, but it is still same. It should be display as per this variable, but it is not showing. like that it is the action. The value of the your variable is again and again changes as per your logic, but it is not showing on the form. Why? What we have uh, do the wrong here? We are not doing any wrong here. Our code is correct. Our logic is also correct, but the behavior of the React.js is different. The behavior of React.js is said the content of your form will be displayed whenever the React is going to re-render. In this case, the we are going to update the value of our variable is not going to re-render the HTML part again. It is a static for the clicking event. It is load first time, but whenever you are going to click on the item, it is not loading again. So the content is display here will not change until unless this code will re-render. So how you can go to re-render? The picture is coming with the state. So we are using the state variables. Whenever you are updating the state variables, the component will be re-render. This is the functionality of our React application. Got it?
Yes.
So how we can do that? What is the state? So let's learn about the state first from the employee.js. Suppose I am going to create a simple. So here, uh, okay, leave that. Move again to the movie type. We have this context, but if I suppose I am going to create a const, so this is the way to define the state. That is an array, like an array. Okay, there should be two items in it. The first is our variable name. Suppose we were the name of the content context. I am using the uh, name is a simply difference display text. So this is the variable name. Wherever you want to use this variable, then you need to use this name. This is name is just above up to you what name you want to set. Now the second thing is how you are going to update the value in this variable. So we have a set. Okay, set display text. So through this name, this is a method basically. So through this name, you can update your display text value. And which type of this? This is a use state. Whenever you are using the state, a hook, the use state hook will be added as an import. So use state is a part of the React library. This is a one hook from here. Hook is what is the hook? Hook is the set of the working component which is available in the React application, React library. So it is the part of the React library in which we are using the single hook that is called use state. Like that, there is a lot of hooks available in the React. So we are going to create a state variable here by using the use state, and you can set the initial value of that. if you're not setting any of the value in the initial value in it, it will be a by default undefined or null. So now if you are providing the blank, then it is a blank. If you want to display the default text, then you can simply set a default text in it. Now I'm going to set the default text in it as a movie type contents display. So by default, display text have the this value. Now I'm going to create use the display text instead of the context text and save that. Now you can see the movie type content display is showing here, which is the part of the use state. Now thing is that I want to update the value of this state according to the clicking on our links. Here the thing is same, but the syntax would be different. How we are going to update? We are, as I told you, that we are using this variable to display the content and this method to update the content of the state variables. So now I'm using the set display text, and here it is a bracket, and now I want to pass the value in it. So what is the value? Value is a movie type index. Whatever this index is, whatever that the value is provided by this index from this array. Now I'm going to save that, refresh them, and click on the comedy. So you can see the comedy content need to display. Click on the horror content need to display, and action content will display. If I'm removing these things, nothing will impact on our code. So now we are working on the state instead of the variables. So whenever you are using the variable, it means you don't want to make a re-render the components. But if you are using the state, then it means whenever the state is going to update, your content will be re-rendered. Do you have any question query till now? Because it is a very important part of the state is, and it is work anywhere in our React application. Do
So,
you have,
sir, one question. In a component, if you have multiple state variables, so
yes,
each and every state variable, when it gets updated, the page gets re-rendered.
whenever you are updating any of the single state, if
Ah,
you have a four states and
uh,
you are going to update over single state, then it will be render your component.
component. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, good. So now we have completed our this small task here by this, and the designing is again the part of you. You can create your own design with by using the CSS. Now we will move to our new small application. Before that, I want to show you the something more. Okay, so we will take a little break for 15 minutes, and after that we will show how we can create the forms. It is okay?
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Okay, meet after at 11.
Okay. And 1 minute, sir. Can you show the screen, inspect screen? Whenever you click element, there was two times it being called.
We have
Yeah, inspect on browser, inspect.
okay.
When you click on the links, click on link on browser. Yeah, React app. Okay, and console, open console also now. Okay, now
Yes.
click on any links now, comedy, anything.
Mhm.
Okay.
You are seeing the console because in the console we were have this code.
Okay. Do consoles. Okay. Correct. Okay. Sure. Okay.
So I
Yeah.
have removed that.
Both time you're updating the state, it gets value that printed content.
Yes,
Okay.
because it is going to re-render.
Correct. Okay. Thinking about how this use state behaves, like whenever a state variable gets updated, the entire page gets refreshed. The entire page or even the entire application. No. So if
No,
a critical API call is being made, so this would be resulting in extreme loss, etc. Such scenarios. So this is why they have got use effect to control the page refresh. Is this why?
actually, whenever you are going to control the effects, so there is that is called the pure component.
Okay.
Okay, so pure component is the part of your class-based component in the React.
Okay.
Okay, so if you are going to create the pure component instead of the component, it is behave whenever the state is going to update,
Hmm.
then the content will re-render, otherwise it not re-render. So it is always check that the state is updated or not.
Okay.
Yes, first thing. Second thing, uh, in the class-based component we have the should component in mount. Okay,
Hmm.
so that is the life cycle of that. So uh, with that method you can also control the re-rendering
Hmm.
as a memory. So you can check the previous state and the current state. If it
Hmm.
is a change, then it will be render, otherwise it's not render.
Okay.
But both things are available in the class-based component. Now, in the function-based component, we have the memo.
Okay.
To implement the same thing, we have the memo. Memo are the two types. The first is the React.memo and the second is the use memo.
Okay.
Use memo is a React hook. So whenever you want to preserve only a piece of code, like a
Hmm.
function,
Okay.
then
Okay.
you use the use memo. If
Okay.
you want to entire component to make as a pure component, then you
Hmm.
need to use the React memo.
Okay. Okay.
Use effects are used for the React lifecycle,
Okay.
but in the function based component we have not the should component
Okay. Sure.
lifecycle. So
Okay.
we cannot use the use effect for that. For this, you need to use the memo.
Use memo. Okay. Okay.
Okay, Umesh Tarak has available here. Tarak, can I start?
Yeah, you can start. I'll call them 1 minute, sir.
Okay. So here, before moving to another part, I want to show something to you. The first is here we have updated this value. Okay. For example, I have another state variable. Okay. Suppose is a name. This is a customer name and is a set name. Use state and default value of this customer name, or I don't want to take customer name. I want to use the uh, display flag. Display flag. Okay, I want to show more things about with this variable. So I have a display flag. This is a state variable, and this is a method, and by default this value of this state variable is a false. Okay, now I want to update this variable value uh, on the any on the one of button click event. Okay, and want to set the button text according to this. So how we can do that? uh, Suppose I have a button, that is a div, and this is a input type is equals to button, and this is closed. Now the value is here is a save, suppose. Now what will happen here? First, look on the page. Children, okay, where children? Oh, this is not here value. Okay, so here I have created a little button, and the value is equals to save. So you can see the value of the save here. Okay, now on this button click event, uh, I want to, there are two things. Okay, so I want to change the value of this display flag. Okay, and want to show some text just above, just below of this button according to the selection. I have a this p element is clicked. Another p, this is edit button clicked. I goes to on click event, and set a value, set a method. Suppose set uh, display. This is my method name, and here I'm going to const. Now I'm going to set the set display flag. That is my variable method. One way is directly you can pass the value whatever you want, suppose true. So it will completely change that. There is a no issue with that. But whenever you are using any of other uh, one way or one thing, one, suppose I'm going to copy this one and paste them again here, and it is the false. I'm putting the false now. So it might not be provide you the correct answer in the second step, because React application is React engine basically is going to execute first command, and until unless it is not completed, might be it is goes to the second command because it is working as a asynchronous mode, and it will perform the action on it. So ideally here the output should be the true, that should be updated, and here ideally should be a false because we are going to command to update that. During this execution, this true execution, suppose it is executed first. So ideally the output of this one is a false, but somehow you are getting the true also, because React application engine is taking some time to update that, because it is going to update that, re-rendering the data, the component, and come back to the your code. So might be it is not correct. So this is not basically the correct way to directly update the values. So for this, suppose I want to, I will come to later here, but before that I'm showing to you something. So here I have a true. So I want to show whenever the value is uh, save is here. So value is this save. I want to show that the value, if it is true, then it should be save. If it is false, then it should be a edit. Like that, I want to implement that. Button is save, same, but the value I want to change that. How we can do that? So there is a two ways. You can directly do here by using this bracket. You can provide the variable, the display flag. If display flag is true, you can put that directly here, or you can check true, whatever you want. And here, if it is true, then value should be save, or else it should be added.
colon.
Cool. It should be added. So it is work upon your condition basis. So now I'm going to save that. Now you can see this is a added, because by default the value of this is false. I'm going to click on it, and it is going to save, convert to the save, because on the click event I'm turning out as a true. Now suppose I want to click on again in it, it is not changed because every time it is a true on the click event. But I want to do that as a vice versa. Means again I'm going to click, it should be a false. Again I'm going to click, it should be a true. The changes like that. So how you can do that? There is a two things, two ways. The first way is to update that is a display flag. The display flag value, whatever is here, I need to check that this is true. Then set as a false. Else set as a true. So it is going to do the vice versa changes. So here edit, save, edit, then again save, edit, save. It's okay. Now this is little bit bigger, so you can change that as this. It's a no issue. But if you are using instead of this, you can use the
Not.
opposite value of that. Okay, so the behavior of this one is also same. Now ideally it is working and is working perfectly, but somehow it is not the good practice to update the values. So what is the best practice for that? So we need to use a method, and in this method we need to pass the parameter, what parameters you want to use in your code to update them. So that is a display flag I'm passing in it, and I want to update that. So this value can be changed. So basically whenever you are going to do these things, you are going to provide your exact value in your function or wherever it is going to update them. So if you are going to here and see that the things are the same. Okay, so things are the same. So this is the way by using we are going to update the things. Now I want to display these contents on the condition basis. So how we can do that? So here we have a variable that is a display flag. Okay, and in this display flag I am checking that it is a true. Then I want to display this p element. Else I want to display this
Other
p
peer.
element. So here you can see that we can set the our conditions directly in our HTML part. So you can do this is a save button clicked, this is a edit button clicked. Now here you can set you are going to set the values here like that, and you can use this the same through a variable. So here you can pass the variable, and you can use the functions also. Now I want to show you one more thing. Suppose I have a variable, okay, and that variable is basically containing the HTML part. For example, going to let display element, and I'm using this element by default. This is my element. Okay, now I am using the if condition. In this if condition I am using the display flag. If display flag is true, Then I'm using this edit, and if display flag is true, then I am putting display
Element.
element equals to this. And instead of that, sorry, display element, instead of this code, I am using only this variable display element. Save that. And here you can see that the behavior is the same. So like that you can use that. And one more thing, suppose you wants to display an input box. For example, I want to display an input box with the name. Okay, so I am going to change my display flag, and or I want to create another set username. Set the user, one second. I'm going to create a state variable for this. Set username, set username, and the default value of use state is smooth. And here I'm going to create another variable. Let my input, and going to create an input variable which type is equals to text, and closing that only right now. Now if I'm going to create use the same this one. If it is flag is true, then, and I'm putting this line on the top. My input is equals to input type is equals to text, and close them. Instead of this, I am using snap span, and here the span is closed. Now I have some static values, that is a const default text, click on button, save value. Okay, and I'm providing this to here. Or I don't, okay, where is the user? Okay, instead of this I'm using this username is a default. I don't want to use that. Okay, fine. And here this is my input. Whatever the input is going, it is displaying on our here. So I'm going to display my input. So what is going on here right now? We have the by default is a false, and it is coming here. It is not a true. So my input element will show the username. The username is a Subodh by default right now. So I am showed that is showing the Subodh. Now I am going to click on the edit button. It will convert to the true, and it is coming here, and input box should be display instead of the name. Now, 1 second. Now I want to update the value of my name, whatever is going to inserting in it. I want to update that, or I want to display that also. Okay, so here in the input, whatever the by default value or whatever the value is saved in our state should be displayed in the text. How we can do that? It is the value property of my text box. Here I am putting the username of my state. So you can see that uh, the value of refreshing. Whenever you click on the edit button, and you can see that the Subodh value is available here. If you want to change this value, then you cannot do that. Okay, you cannot do that because you are binding your the state directly with your input value. So it is the binding with that. So here what should be there? The default value should be available only here. So that is the default value. If you are using a default value, that means it is a default value is this, but you can change it. So here, if you are going to refresh that and edit them, you can see you can change that. Now I want to save that on the button click event. So here I have a button that is a save, which I have the set display. This is my function. Set display with that function is the top, I think. This is my set display. This is my function. Now I'm going to set the value of my whatever value is going to enter in this text box. So how we can do that? Because in the JavaScript, if I'm going to the JavaScript, what are the ways? There is a very simple. Then we need to ID txt name. Suppose this is my ID, and I will use that ID in my document.get element by ID, right? Document.get element by ID and provide the txt name and dot value, and you can get the values from this. It is very simple, and here we can set our username directly with the text value. So it is going to update whatever you have. What is where is my username? Oh, see, little bottom. I need to put here. I don't want to use that because I am using the fresh value. Okay, so now I'm going to edit properties.
ये ट्यूशन की ये भी ट्यूशन.
Okay. Document dot get document dot values. I think that this one. I see. Okay, so this is the way what we are using in the JavaScript, but in what we are going to use in our React.js. So in the React.js, we need to basically preserve the value of this input box in our state. So for this, our state is this one, and we can directly update the values in this state. So how we can do that? We will use a on change event, and we are using the a function to update that. So here suppose name, that is my function. I need to create that function const but what we are going to update that, how we can get the value from this input box in my function. It is calling on click on change, that is okay, but how I can get the values in it? So the way is that we need to use the event. The event is that whenever you are going to click on this element, the event is containing all of the information about this element. Okay, so here suppose you are going to make an alert here, and e dot target dot value. So you will see, I'm closing this one. You will see the alert will show you the value of your input, whatever you have entered here. So here I'm going to click Subodh. Now going to just a space, then you can see that Subodh. If you are writing the K, it will use Subodh K. The value, whatever we are putting in here in your input box, it is getting there. So now I am going to update the username, the set username on it. So here you can see that e.target.value. I'm closing this alert and going to save that. I'm now going to refresh in, edit Kumar. Okay, I'm going to replace the, you can see that Subodh Kumar is available here because it is updated in my username. The button click event here, this is another button. This button click event, the save, is doing nothing to save my username because my username is directly saved on the on change event of my input box here. And you can see that we can apply on change events, everything inside of the variables, and you can use that variable directly in your rendering HTML. So there are a lot of the ways, whatever you are suitable or whatever your business logic is required, then you can do that. In this case, you can see that we have a in my input. If it is true, then it this text box is showing to and to take the values from here. So where this type of functionality is coming, it is coming. Suppose you have a grid. In this grid, you have a one row. Whenever user first load the content, then the value should be show. But when the user click on the edit button, then the entire row should come in the edit mode and should be come in the input box. So user can be change the values, and in the last there should be a save, and click on the save, the value the changes value will be saved. So this type of functionality will work on that scenario. Anyone have any question query?
Hmm.
It is understandable, right?
Yes, yes.
So like that, in this you can apply your CSS also. The class name you can provide directly and it will work. There is no issue with that. Now we are moving to the KBA. The KBA last in the last lecture we heard about the what is the KBA. KBA is a कौन बनेगा अरबपति, like a कौन बनेगा करोड़पति. Okay, so we are going to create a small application for that. So first of all, I want to make a registration page for the user. Okay, very small registration page we will create on it. So suppose we have a new component for that, KBA registration.js. Okay, so now I'm going to create a component. Return, and here is a div. Export default. Okay, now I'm going to my index.js. Here we are using the app. I am removing this app and adding our KBA registration. So it is the reference is also available here. Now save that. And there is a registration is coming here. Now go to the registration page again, and we are going to create a little small form, div. The first I will need to display the name, get the first name, div, last name, div, age, address, city, country. Suppose this is a very small our uh, registration page, so which is containing such information. Now I need to prepare the fields text here. So first of all, if I'm talking about the first name, this is my field name and this is my input box. Type is equals to text. Close that, and now I'm putting the name also. Name is a F name. This is my last name. This is my age. This is address, so it should be a test area. And this is a city, and city should be a drop down. So drop down is a select, and country is also a drop down. I'm putting the country just above your city. I want to display the city, only those cities which is belongs to the country. Okay. So there is calling the cascading drop down. Now this is my form. These are the drop down. I'm not going to make a CSS implementation it. So I'm going to create two things first. The list of the country means country array. Country list. And this country list contains the country ID, one, country name, that is India, and like that make another set. Two, three, four. This should be a unique ID. And another country, Japan, Pakistan, okay. Suppose these are the country list I have. Like that, I'm going to create another, that is a city list. City list should contains the city ID first. This should be a unique. And another one is the city name. And the third one is the country ID. So it is belongs to India. Country ID is account 1. City name. I'm putting that is belongs to the country is third. I'm putting the value like XYZ. This is also belongs to the third. And I'm going to another 2 more cities that is belongs to code 4. Okay, so this is my data. I want to set them um, to my country and the city. So first, how you can bind that? So this is my country first. This is my country. So in the drop down, there are the options. So in the HTML, there is a option. So if you are putting any value in option, and suppose so you can see that the options are available with the country. So like that, we need to do that. So it is, if you are seeing that this is repeated. So what I am going to do, I need to make a loop on our country list. The name of my country list is variable is this one. I will use that dot map, and here item. Now the same thing, I need to return that. So what happen if I'm not going to return? Give me any error warning? No. But what will happen? We will check that. Item dot, we need to show the country name. But in option, we have a value is the show the country ID. That is backend. Now I need to provide the key also. Otherwise, we will got the uh, warning on it. So again, I'm going to provide the key as a country ID. Now I'm removing these options and say that what will happen? Will options are added in it or not? No, nothing. Why? Because we are not returning anything. So I'm going to return this set of content what are going to created here. Now it is these options will be shown in the drop down. By default, it should be a blank. Then how you can do that? There is a two way. You can set a blank entry on your list, or you can set a blank entry inside of the select. So here there is an option. One second. हेलो, नमस्कार सर, कैसे हैं आप? हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
Hello, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to make a default option here, then you can set here is a select country like that, and here you will see the first option will be the select country. On this case, you need to provide the two things. The first one is the value. The value should be a blank, and you can select the default value is blank. If you see that these are two things, is it value and default value? Value is a part of your HTML. If you are using the HTML only, then it is working perfectly. If you are using the React.js, then you need to use the default value. If you are not using the default value and using the value, then you will see some warning for your side. It is not showing right now, but it is showing the warning. So instead of that, we need to use the default value. Okay, and here these are the repetition. So repetition will show you the data here. Like that, we need to make them for for a city. So I'm going to copy this one and writing here default city, and I have a city list. This is my city list of set, and I'm using that city list instead of the country list, and now I am using the city ID, city ID, and that is the city name, right?
Yes.
Here we have the drop down. Now in this drop down, all of the values are available here, but it should be available according to the country selection. I am using the India, then only India based city should display here. Then how we can do that? So here the again things are coming in picture, that is a state, because whenever you are going to create to change the content in your form, then it means it should be re-render to bind your value. It can be change the value in your variable, but the variable will bind only and only with your code if it is going to rendering. So for that we need to create a state for that, and that state will perform your activity with your city list. So here we are going to create a event that is a on change. Set cas- cascade. That is a my method. What I'm going to use in it. That is a function, and you can see that whenever console.log is going to change, then it will be show value. This one. Okay. So if you are going to see that, if I'm selecting the Japan, then you can see the value. Means the on change event is working perfectly with that, but I need to get the selected value of this one, this select. So here we have again the some options available here. That is also an event e. So you can use the event, but what will happen if you are using the event? So you can see that e, what you are getting if you are event, like the previous one we have seen in our text box, we are in the value of the text box. So like that, can we get the value of the this drop down? Let's see what the event is providing to you. The first, there are the lot of the properties available here, which is providing by the event of for this select element. Which one is our required things? That is the selected option. Okay, so selected option is not available directly here, but you can see the some these are the target, basically these are the options of the target, and these all options are containing the information about the option what you have added in it. Fine. So like that, if you are selected here, then there should be a variable that is okay. This is the first variable that is not selected. I have selected the second one. Japan one is the third one. Okay. So here you can see that the children is Japan key tag element type option and type option and node and state node. So here you are seeing that in the little bit of the bottom. It is not showing all of the informations here. Is there is a selected option also that is calling as true or false. Yeah, this is a selected, that is a true, but it is very difficult to come into the each options to check that is selected or not. So instead of that, we have another options to check the values of the states. That is the selected value of the select element. That is the part of your HTML. Okay, so in HTML, if you are going to choose a selected value of any drop down value, means the select element. This is a select element selected value. Okay, so for this you have a directly code for that to use that, but I am showing to you where the value is going to show it is selected or not. That's why I'm going to here to show you now. Coming back, this is our target. If you are going to that, we have seen that the target dot value, but here we have a target dot select, means the selected, we have the select and selected values in it. So in HTML we have again the part of that. Now if I'm going to here, we have the part of that is the document dot get element by id, and we will provide the id here. id is equals to sl country, and here we are providing the sl country. This is the id. By through this id you are getting the data in a variable of your selected component. And here after that you can get the value from here. So how? Suppose that is I'm using the var. This I'm just showing you how we can get in the simple javascript. After that I will come in the react. Okay, so value is equals to here sl element dot value. Okay, and after that, that is the where I am then using another text, that is a e no sorry, that is a sl element dot options. Okay, in these options we are finding the those options which are belongs to the element dot selected index. It is not working here directly. I'm showing you the just the way how we can doing in our HTML part. So here we are getting the text. So what are going here? It is first we are getting the element directly. Okay, the element contains the information about the selected element, all of that. We are getting the value of from there. The values are all of the values, all of the options. In these options, I am selecting that option which is the part of the our selected index. Means whenever you are going to select the content, there should be a indexing, and index we are going to provide the index. So here in this option we are passing the index. What of the index of element you have selected for it, and it is getting the value from this options array and put your selected value in your content. So basically this is the part of the whenever you are using the HTML and the JavaScript directly, this is the part of that.